Finally, some relief for new mothers and future mothers of Gqeberha, as the first Home Affairs that is joined to a hospital has officially been opened today. Well, we are at Dora Nginza, where a number of children are born in a month with a record of just above 500. Just to put into perspective how things were before this, mothers from this hospital would have to go home, and then they would have to travel over 20 kilometers to go to the Home Affairs office, where they would stand in lines for hours and hours. Hospitals that are catering for many things, including passports. But now there's finally some glimpse of light, as they'll be able to get out of their labor wards and come and sit here, get their babies registered, and go home with a birth certificate, making things so much easier for them. But right now I'm going to speak to the Deputy Minister of Home Affairs. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, and good morning to all the viewers at home.
Let's just talk about this launch and what prompted. Why did you decide that Dora Nginza was the perfect hospital to make this launch?
Well, what we did is that we are running a nationwide campaign for our early birth registration. We have about 123 live facilities throughout the country in hospitals where birth certificate is printed immediately. What we have is that we categorize this hospital according to the number of births that are given, which means high birth giving hospitals will have to prioritize them, and that is why we prioritize this hospital, because it gives out about 11,000 beds per annum. Now that's a very big number. Now our aim is to make sure that all those 11 beds must be registered here for convenience of the parents and for convenience of the mothers, but also for the future of the children. Because remember, the civil registration of a child starts with a birth certificate, where you get an ID number which remains with you for the rest of your life. So if you do not get a birth certificate, you are then bound to have problems in the future. And we thought that it's important for us to go to where births actually occur and open Home Affairs facilities for the convenience of mothers and the future of their children.
And let's talk about now the mothers that gave birth before this office became operational, and maybe giving birth here at Dora Nginza. Is there an opportunity for them to maybe come back here and register their child if they have not yet?
Yes, we do that. We do not only have to have mothers who actually gave birth here who must come here. Even if you give birth in another hospital, you can still be able to come here rather than going into an office where you will find that there is a lot of services being offered. So this is a birth registration center. You can also give birth here, leave, and then come back and then register the birth of your child here. But what we emphasize is that mothers, they must always do their best to make sure that they register the birth of their children in the health facilities, because it's more convenient. We were discussing even now with the hospital management that we are now putting together a program where we will see even mothers, because some of them are cesarean section, where our staff will go to the various wards, collect information in the wards, come down, register the birth, and then go back and hand over the birth certificate. So the possibilities are really endless with the work that we are doing with regard to hospital connectivity and Home Affairs presence in various hospitals.
And Deputy Minister, all eyes will be on you after this. Are there any plans to maybe take this project to other hospitals? Because I'm sure other hospitals would love to have the same thing without having to necessarily take effort in moving from one hospital or from one place to another to get their birth certificates done.
Yes, there is about 2 more hospitals that we are going to do within the next 2 months. So we'll be rolling it out. As I've indicated, that we have about 160 hospitals where we are present. Out of those 160, we have about 123 that are able to print out the birth certificates on the spot. It's not for the first time we're here in the Eastern Cape. Last time we're here in Lusigisi, we've gone to Limpopo, we've gone into a number of provinces. The next one that we're going to do is going to be in Gauteng, where we open these facilities to make it easier. But the one point that I just can't leave without saying, we request fathers to be present in the registration of their babies. What we see is that most of the children are registered, but the parents, the mother is there, the father is not there, so that they appear on the birth certificate. We really request that fathers must also take responsibility, and so that for the identity of the child, even in the long term, fathers have to be present. The other issue that we request, that when mothers come to give birth in the hospital, they must make sure that they carry all the necessary documentation, their identity documents and everything that is required to make sure that there is a smooth registration of their child.
Well, thank you so much, DM. That was the Deputy Minister for Home Affairs saying that this might be the first of its kind here in Gqeberha, but it is not the only one of its kind. And also inviting mothers, regardless of where they gave birth, to come to this hospital and register their children. Well, just to emphasize again on what the Deputy Minister just said, that the fathers should also make some effort and be present so that they can be present during the registration of their children and also be present in the lives of their children. But right now, from myself, Anda Nqonji, and colleague Natasha Makundulu, it's back to you in studio.